Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. Now in today's video I will be talking about the new moon in the sign of Virgo that will be occurring on the 7th of September. And this new moon occurs at 14°37'. Now new moon is the sign when the moon cycle, the moon phase restarts. So it goes from full moon all the way down to the new moon and then back to full moon again. So new moon is a time of having a fresh start, a new beginning, or infusing new energy in something that you are building up already. Now during a new moon, sun and moon both are together in the same sign. Now with the new moon in the sign of Virgo, there's always a sense of organization associated with it, because Virgo is about your productivity level, your organizational skill, how you are useful to yourself and to others. So that is what the true essence of a Virgo is. And with the new moon in the sign of Virgo, there's a sense of finding emotional security and stability as a result of keeping things in order and keeping things clear and organized. So during this new moon, you will feel a sense of organizing your life, especially in the areas where you feel disorganized, chaotic, or disruptive, or things that is not going the way you want it to go. You would want to really put things together and organize yourself, and this new moon will give you the energy to do that. So you will be definitely very much interested in it as well, to have a fresh start in whichever area of life Virgo covers in your chart. You will be very much inclined to have fresh start in terms of organizing and really bringing things in order in that area of life, whatever it might be. Now it's very important also not to get too much carried away by this Virgo energy, the organizing and keeping things in order kind of energy that you may be feeling during this time, and be a little bit more accepting and tolerant of any imperfection that you might have in your life, and just trust in the universe, just trust in your instinct, and just let things flow as well. So don't get too much bogged down by wanting to control things and not living your life. So it's also very important with the Virgo energies not to burden yourself too much with the responsibilities of yourself and others, and really tire yourself with this responsibility of having everything in order, because everything cannot be in order. Now that is not something a Virgo will accept, but it's also important to keep in mind that you need to let things run its course, and you just need to have trust in yourself and in life, and just let things flow as well a little bit. Now this new moon is very progressive new moon and has the capability of bringing about positive change in your life as well, because this new moon is trining Uranus in the sign of Taurus, and which is amazing energy, because Uranus is this energy that brings about change. It breaks mold, and it really progresses you and puts you on the path to innovation and your future basically. But Uranus is retrograde, so the disruptive energy of Uranus that usually comes with this sudden change and sudden upheaval in your life, which is for the betterment, but the suddenness of it is a little bit toned down during this new moon. Now with this new moon, you will be definitely feeling a bit more mentally agile and really emotionally ready to bring these change in your life, even if it may seem disruptive and sudden at times. But you will be a little bit more prepared from mentally prepared to progress and really bring these changes and accommodate these changes in your life. Now it's also worth noticing that during this new moon, all the outer planets will be retrograde. So it's a really helping energy to handle any kind of change that might have come about in your life in the past 1 year, and it will help you process things a little bit better during this new moon. So this moon and Uranus harmonious energy is very forward thinking and is helping you to seek the change and independence that you were seeking in your life. And this is both on personal and collective level as well, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, which is about collective, and moon is about your emotions. So you are definitely, it's both personal and collective. So it's a good idea to be creative with the changes that you're bringing about in your life, and not to be too competitive, which a Virgo energy is. So be more inclusive in your thinking and be more collective minded than being alienating, and also the solitary thinking, isolating thinking that you might have. So think past these mindset and be a little bit more inclusive and forward thinking, progressive. That's what moon trining Uranus is asking for. Now this new moon is also opposing Neptune in Pisces, so you may also feel a little bit chaotic and be led by unrealistic desires or dreams or imagination. You may feel idealistic, you may dwell in fantasy over reality, especially during this new moon. Now along with new moon, Mars in Virgo, Mars is also in Virgo during this time and is also forming an opposition aspect with Neptune. So you may feel some sort of unrealistic desires or imagination or even fantasy, and you may give more weightage to these feelings more over reality, and the practicality of life, the practical approach that you might want to take usually may get suppressed during this new moon. So use the Virgo energy and really weigh things out and analyze and rethink, overthink before you make any move. Now besides a harmonious aspect that's occurring between moon and Uranus during this new moon, there's also a trine occurring with the planets in Libra and planets in Aquarius, which are social air sign, which is a lot about thoughts and socializing and really partnering and collaborating energy. So there's Venus trining Jupiter in Aquarius, which is a really great energy to collaborate, to come together and to connect, and it's a very generous, cordial kind of energy. And the other trine that's occurring is with Mercury in Libra with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Now this is definitely a more practical kind of energy, and you may want to take more practical and sensible and thought over approach to problem solving during this time. Now, in addition to the harmonious and positive aspects between Moon and Uranus and with Mercury, Venus, with Jupiter and Saturn, there's also a really strong, very powerful trine occurring between Mars in the sign of Virgo and with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Mars and Pluto are very powerful planets, and in the sign of Virgo and Capricorn, it really is very helpful to build up whatever you are building. And with Virgo and Capricorn energy, it's a very hardworking, powerful, and very determined energy to really build upon whatever you have been building upon in the last 1 year and even going forward. So you can use this Mars trining Pluto, which is so powerful, to really force yourself forward in that direction of the change that is brought about by this Uranus energy in the past 1 year. And this energy is going to really propel you in that direction wherever you want to go. And so also very determined and not much deterred by obstacles. So if you have a goal during this time, you can use this Mars Pluto energy to really propel yourself in that direction. And it's really helpful trining energy. So it's a very collaborative, cooperative energy to really help you in that direction. So it's a really good time to start any new projects, any new business, new partnership, any new health regime, any new career, job, whatever you want to start, wherever your Virgo sits in your chart. You can have a fresh start in these areas. You'll feel this helping hand from Uranus, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, all the planets that are really harmonizing, has this positive aspect during this time, will really propel you in that direction. So let's see how this new moon in Virgo affects each of the zodiac signs. Aries. For you, the new moon in Virgo occurs in your 6th house. Now, 6th house is the house of your work and your health. So this is a great opportunity and energy to have a fresh start in areas related to your daily life, your work, or your health matters. Now, this new moon is in a harmonious aspect to Uranus, which is a planet of change and progressive thinking and really moving forward. So Aries, you can use this energy of moon trining Uranus to really progress in matters of your work or your health matters. So any wellness related issues that you might have, this is a great time to really start a new health regime or a food habit to really be on that path to better your life. Now, during this new moon, Aries, Mars, which is your ruler, is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in Capricorn, which is your career house. So you will have this helping hand during this new moon to really powerfully, take yourself in that path of progress, of career progress, career growth, and it's a great time to really move up the career ladder. Now Uranus is in the second house, in your house of money, in your personal income, in your second house, so you will have this opportunity to really increase your income. Now Uranus is in your second house for the last few years and will be there until 2026, so you have this constant progressive opportunities of increasing your income, or how you make your money and how you handle your money as well. So you have all these positive energy during this new moon of your work, health, your career progress, your money increasing, your personal income increasing, so you can use all this energy to really move yourself forward. Now during this Virgo new moon, the ruler of Virgo, which is Mercury, is in the sign of Libra, which is the opposite sign to you, Aries. Now this Mercury is forming a positive trine aspect with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 11th house. So you might be inclined to take more sensible and practical approach when dealing with partnership and your social circle. So, and these will really help you as well, because it's a positive harmonious aspect between your 7th house and 11th house matters, with Mercury, which is your mental agility, your speech, how you communicate, with Saturn, which is more of how you form and build relationships. So it's a good time to also listen to what others have to say and really include their thought process and their ideas as well in your life. Now Venus is also in the sign of Libra, which is its own sign, and from there it's aspecting Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius, again in your 11th house. So again there's a really positive aspect with you, with people you interact with and your social circles, to really be helpful for your growth during this time, and all this is going to really uplift you in your daily life, in your career, in your job, your money making capabilities and all that. And it's also a good time to really be more creative focused and collective focused and be inclusive than being overly competitive during this time. Now all this progressive energy is going to really uplift you in your daily life and in your job and in your work environment and in your health as well. So use this energy to really propel yourself to wherever you want to go, Aries. So all these changes that you're bringing about in your life, you will be able to handle it a little bit more better during this new moon, Aries, because Uranus is retrograde and it's a little bit less disruptive and is really helping you in making those job career changes that you want to make. And you will also appear more powerful and strong in front of your authority figures, and the ideas that you're bringing about, your skills and capability and your creative ideas, innovative ideas, whatever that you're thinking during this time, the authority figure will be able to acknowledge that and see that more, and you will really go up in your career ladder and you'll have career growth. So use all the positive and harmonious planetary energy during this new moon to really propel yourself and to achieve the career goals and ambition, or the life goals and ambition that you have, Aries. Taurus, for you the new moon in Virgo occurs in your 5th house. Now Taurus, 5th house is the house which relates to matters of your heart, things that you're passionate about, things that relate to your personal interest, your personal joys, the things that bring you delight, and that includes your creativity, the romances in your life, the fun aspect of life, even your children, because that's your creation. So all these aspects of your life, Taurus, is getting a chance for a fresh start, a new beginning. So use this energy to start a new creative project maybe, or to indulge in solo interest of your own liking. Now Uranus is in your 1st house, Taurus, for a couple of years now, so you're already feeling this change and sudden changes in yourself, in your personal destiny, in your life path. Just your whole sense of self is changing constantly, and you may even feel a bit sort of kind of disruptive energy as well in terms of what is it you desire in your life. Now with this moon forming a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your 1st house, this is the time to think about yourself, Taurus, and really have fresh start in terms of your creativity, in terms of yourself, your personal destiny. So really look out for yourself and really think about yourself during this time, Taurus. Now with the new moon, Mars is also in your 5th house in the sign of Virgo and forming a very positive, harmonious aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in your 9th house. Now the 1st house, 5th house and 9th house is a trine houses, and all these houses, all these energy, all the signs and all the planets in these sign is forming a very harmonious aspect with you, with Taurus. So 1st house is the house of yourself, the 5th is your creativity, and 9th house is about your belief system. It's about your future project and new territories that you can explore. So it's a great time to have these fresh start in terms of how you can use your goodness, the goodness that you bring about in life and to other people, Taurus, to really uplift yourself personally and to really go on that path, that personal path that you have. And this will also open up your mind, and is opening up your mind quite powerfully, because Pluto is in your 9th house of belief system in the sign of Capricorn. So you are already going through a regeneration and rebuilding of your belief system. You are really getting past the old way of thinking, what the belief system that you had, or the belief system that you inherited. So you're really growing out of it and really moving forward. And with this Mars in your 6th house with trining with the Capricorn planet, you are definitely ready to really go your own way, really have these solo adventures, exploring new territories by yourself, by your own means, and you are definitely ready to and very determined to do as well, because Mars and Pluto aspect is a kind of energy that really goes past any obstacles. So anything that's holding you back as well, you will be able to go past, and it's a very great energy, very positive energy during this new moon to use this for the progressive, forward thinking, progressive life, or whatever goals and mission you have that you want to reach out. It's a great time to have the fresh thought during this time, and you will see this energy growing as well for the rest of the year, Taurus. Now Taurus, your ruler is Venus, which is in the sign of Libra during this new moon, and Libra is a natural sign of Venus. So Venus is very happy in the sign of Libra. Now from there, it's forming a harmonious aspect with Jupiter in Aquarius, which is in your 10th house, and Libra is your 6th house. So you definitely have this opportunity to use your skills, capability, your productivity level to really reach out to those goals, ambitions that you have in your career, your reputation, your public image, whatever you want to achieve in life, in this world, Taurus. So this Venus in the sign of Libra in your 6th house of productivity is helping you to reach that. The Mercury, which is the ruler of this new moon, which is Virgo, is in the sign of Libra as well in your 6th house, and is forming a very harmonious aspect with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, again in your 10th house. So again, there is a mental agility and practical approach is helping you to achieve the career goals, Taurus. So it's a great time to really use all these planetary energies to really propel yourself in that direction of career growth and really new territories that you want to explore. Really open up your mind and look in a different way. Put yourself first. Go on a solo mission and really be excited about life and really about future opportunities. And this new moon is also bringing you new love and new interest and new opportunities. So you take these opportunities, and this will all really open up your mind and will really help you in your career growth as well, Taurus. Gemini, for you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your 4th house. Now 4th house is the house of your home environment, your family members, your own emotional comfort level, and your foundation root, and also the house that you live in, the property, the real estate. So a new moon in your 4th house is definitely giving the opportunity to have fresh start in these matters. So it's a great time to really feel more stable and nurtured and more secure in your home environment. Also, it's a great time to start something related to property or house matters. So if you're looking to buy something or purchase something or move to a new place or anything related to a house or real estate, is a great time to have that start. Now this new moon is forming a very harmonious aspect with Uranus in your 12th house in the sign of Taurus, Now Uranus is retrograde during this time, so it's disruptive energy, the suddenness of that it brings to the picture. Uranus, the electrifying energy, is a little bit more toned down, so you're able to handle things related to your home and family matters a little bit more easily. So you're not suddenly faced with chaotic or disruptive energy during this new moon. Now with this Uranus in your 12th house, which is a house of retreat and really recharging your battery, so you could feel the energy of retreating in your home environment and using this time to really recharge your batteries rather than moving around and doing things too much. So you feel more nourished and stable in your home environment, and that is giving you a sort of retreat and giving you that isolation and solitary time, to a quiet time in your home environment to really recharge your batteries and rejuvenate yourself and reboot your energies. So use this new moon in your 4th house to really establish your sense of security and your home environment, in your home environment and with your family members. And it will be really high on your agenda as well to really create a secure, safe environment for yourself in your home. Now Geminis, the ruler of this Virgo new moon is Mercury, and Mercury is your ruler as well, Geminis. And during this new moon, Mercury is in the sign of Libra, which is a fellow air sign. So it's all harmonious energy for you, Geminis. And Libra is your 5th house, which is the house of creativity, of fun, to have a fun time and romance and children. So you will definitely very much inclined to use this mercurial energy in the sign of Libra to improve your relationship and to have time with your relationship, the romantic relationship or committed relationship, whatever that might be. And you're also using your passion, your talents, your skills, your capabilities, your creative capabilities to even start a new project if that's what you want. It's a good harmonious energy to do that. Now this Mercury is in a very harmonious aspect with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 9th house of belief system and future opportunities. So you're also using a practical and sensible approach to take up new opportunities and to explore new territories, and it could be by means of traveling abroad or even interacting with different cultures, and it could be online as well. Now Venus is also in the sign of Libra during this new moon and is forming a harmonious aspect with Jupiter, the expansive planet, in the sign of Aquarius, which is very collective focused in your 9th house, which is about belief system, exploring and expanding your horizon through learning, education, travel, whatever that might be. So use this positive energy to really explore and open up your mind creatively. And even if you're looking for romance and love, it's a great opportunity to maybe find some love. So Geminis, do take up opportunities that you really enjoy and that really brings you to light and is creative and enjoyable and delightful to you. Now another harmonious aspect during this new moon is Mars in Virgo trining Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, and it brings up a lot of earthy energy. Now Pluto is in your 8th house and Mars is in your 4th house, so that brings about home environment, home themes with intimacy and trust and commitment with your close ties and people you're closely associated with. So this is a very positive, helping and supportive and cooperative energy with in your relationships and in your partnership and with people you're closely associated with. So you can use and build up more trust, commitment, and that will strengthen your bond and really bring a sense of peace and tranquility in your home environment. And this will give you a feeling of safety, security, nourishment, emotional comfort in your home environment and with your family members, Gemini. So really use this energy to recharge yourself, Gemini, and really open up your mind through interacting with people abroad. It could be online, and really this will really help you in taking up new opportunities, or will open up you to new territories and new future projects, new creative projects, Geminis. Cancer. For you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your 3rd house. Now 3rd house is a house of communication. It's a house of sharing ideas and how you think, communicate, conduct yourself. It's also the house of your inner circle and close ties, your neighborhood, your local community, your network. So a new moon in your 3rd house is giving you the opportunity to have fresh start in the way you communicate and how you share information and ideas, and how you communicate with other people in your community and your close ties. So what is your communication? What is your message? What is the information that you're sharing? So this new moon is giving you opportunity to set new intentions. Now Uranus is in a harmonious trine with this new moon, and Uranus is in your 11th house, which is the house of your social network, of your community as well at large, the larger community. Third house is more of your local community. 11th house is more of your larger community. So a trine, a harmonious aspect between new moon and Uranus is really helping you to reboot and recharge the way you communicate and the way you connect and engage with people on local as well as collective, the masses, how you are communicating. So Uranus here is really giving you the opportunity to really boost your social circle and also utilize your social circle, the broader collective, to communicate and to share ideas and to share the message that you have, communicate it to the collective, the social circle. Now 11th house is also to do with organization and associations. So if you're associating yourself with a club or organization or a group of people, this new moon is going to really help you this new moon is really going to help the contacts that you make to communicate better and to share ideas and to really move up the ladder in terms of whatever goals and ambition that you have, your hopes and wishes, whatever your future projects, creative project, whatever that might be. It really helps to achieve that, to attain those wishes and goals that you have. Now Mars is in the sign of Virgo, same as where the new moon is occurring, and is making a very harmonious aspect with Pluto, the powerful Pluto in the powerful Capricorn, which is your 7th house. So this is really making your interactions and connections and with people, the one-to-one interaction that you have, partnership with people, really strong and powerful, and you're able to use this to really benefit. And it's also helping you to build on the relationships that you have in your life, Cancer. So Cancer, when you're interacting with people in your life, whether it's in your home environment, your family, or with close ties in your local community or the larger community, or even partnership, and that might be personal or business, it's important to use an engaging approach and really practical approach to your communication. This will really build up strong and solid ties for you, Cancer, and it will help you in bonding and forming alliances, or just coming together and doing something, communicating something, really getting the message across, whatever your message might be. It's really helpful. So do mingle and connect with people around you who are supporting you, who are there for you, and with whom you have a good rapport. So do use these energies to send whatever message you're trying to communicate. Now Cancer, during this Virgo new moon, the ruler of Virgo, which is Mercury, is in the sign of Libra, along with Venus. And Venus is at home in Libra because the ruler of Libra is Venus. Now Libra is your 4th house, Cancer. So Venus and Libra in your 4th house of your home environment, family members, and your roots is forming a very harmonious aspect with planets in Aquarius, which is Jupiter and Saturn, which is your 8th house. Now 8th house is the house of your intimacy, commitment, trust, and the close ties that you have, the intimate relationship with the close tie that you have in your life. So all this 4th house energy with the 8th house is really helping you to communicate in your relationship where you feel safe, and in your intimate relationship with your close ties, you're communicating, you're sending a message across what makes you safe and what makes you feel committed, where does your trust lies. So you are definitely very communicative during this time. So you're definitely involving yourself a little bit more in commitments and trust, and really engaging with people in your life, close ties in your life, partnership, both business and personal it can be. So Cancer, use this new moon in Virgo time to really reset your intention, basically, to have a fresh start in terms of how you're communicating with people around, and that is your local And that includes your local ties, your family members, your partnership, anybody you have intimate relationships with, and also your social circle. And do look at what you're getting involved in and whom you're mingling with and whom you're connecting with. So in order to have a sense of security, a sense of peace within yourself, Cancer, it's a good idea to communicate what your expectations and desires are in your close ties. Leos, for you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your second house. Now, second house is the house of your personal income, your personal worth, your personal resources. So a new moon occurring in your second house is an opportunity for fresh starts, new beginning in your fiscal matters, your financial matters, or even a new money making outlet. Now, this new moon is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is your 10th house. It's the house of your career, your reputation. And Uranus has been in your 10th house for a few years now, Leos, and will be there until 2026. So it's constantly rebooting, boosting your public image, your reputation, your career, your vocation, whatever you have in your life. And you may be going through a period of change and awakening and, really looking at your career from a different angle, different perspective. And this new moon in your second house really giving you this opportunity to develop new money making capabilities, to really see how you can profit, how you can make more money, and how you can use your resources for better use, or how you can handle your finances better. So this new moon in second house is really a great opportunity to really have a look at your financial standing, what you're earning, how you're earning, what can you do to improve it, and how you can handle and manage your financial aspect of life better. Now, second house is also a natural Taurus house. So Taurus is about self-sufficiency, self-reliancy, how you can do things by yourself, your self-effort. Now, Uranus is in the sign of Taurus during this time, which is the sign of self-sufficiency. So this trine with the new moon is really telling you to really depend on your own efforts to improve your money-making capabilities, or your engagement with the world, how you come across, your reputation. It's all down to you, Leos. How you want to see your future is really dependent on you. How you want to build your career, how you want to improve your personal finances. It's all dependent on you, because Taurus is a sign of self-sufficiency, and in your second house with the Taurus in the 10th house all comes into play. Now, Uranus is a disruptive and rebooting energy. It brings about sudden changes. So you might be experiencing sudden changes, but during this new moon, Uranus is retrograde. Now, with retrograde Uranus, the energy is a little bit more manageable. So you will be able to have fresh start, or if you are already experiencing change in your career or in your finances, during this new moon, you'll be able to handle these changes better. So any radical changes or a change in direction or change in your goals and ambitions, whatever that might be, that you may have experienced during the last 1 year or since Uranus moved in Taurus a few years ago, you will be able to handle these energy a little bit better during this new moon and going forward, Leos. Now, Mars is also in the sign of Virgo during this new moon, where the new moon is occurring. So Mars and new moon both are in the sign of Virgo, though they're not conjunct, but they are in the same sign. Now, Mars from the sign of Virgo is trining, is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 6th house. Now, 6th house is the house of your productivity, your daily routine, what you do on a daily basis, your work, your health. So when Mars and Pluto forms a harmonious aspect, it's a really great opportunity for moving forward on your path for achievement, whatever goals and ambition you have, in that direction with full gusto, because it's a very helping, supportive energy. Now, with Virgo and Capricorn both coming into play, it's an earthy energy. So your materialistic aspect of life that you want to achieve can be achieved through putting in effort and through practicality, through pragmatism, through realistic approach, and you can really do that. So you can form a routine, because Virgo and 6th house, both energy is about routine. Put down, chalk out your plan, whatever you have, and walk on that path, and you can use this Mars and Pluto energy to achieve whatever you might want to achieve, whether it's work related, health related, finances related, your self-worth related, your resources related, family related, whatever desire, whatever goals and ambitions that you have, it can be achieved if you set the intention correctly and work on those, because self-effort is definitely required, Leos, to move towards your objectives and the goals and ambition, whatever future plans that you have. Now, Leos, the ruler of Virgo, where the new moon is occurring, is Mercury. And Mercury during this new moon is in the sign of Libra, along with Venus. They're not conjunct together, but they are in the same sign. Now, Mercury and Venus both are forming a very harmonious aspect with planets in Aquarius, which is Jupiter and Saturn. And this Mercury and Venus in Libra is really making you very engaging the way you are communicating with the close ties that you have in your life, with the partnership, whether it's personal or business. Your approach, your communication is very more generous, more graceful, more cordial, and more friendly the way you're communicating. And you are definitely interested in finding a middle ground. You're refocusing your energy, and you definitely want to smooth relationship if there has been any hindrances in terms of your relationship, any obstacles in the past. You're definitely very much interested in taking the more cordial path and more effective communication, more gentler communication, and practical communication, and this will make you handle your relationship much better. Virgos, for you, the new moon in Virgo is taking place in your first house. Now, Virgos, this new moon in your own sign is giving you the opportunity for fresh starts, new beginnings in your life, in all your personal matters. So this time is about you, Virgos. So take these opportunities and have fresh starts, new beginnings in matters that concerns you, that concerns your choices, your interest, and your just general outlook in life. Now, this new moon in the sign of Virgo is forming a very harmonious aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is in your 9th house. And the 9th house is about exploring and expanding your horizon and really reaching out to territories and new horizons that you have never experienced before. So Virgos, use this opportunity, this beautiful opportunity of this trine between the new moon and Uranus to really break the mold and really do something you have never done before. Go on that path, on the unknown territory, that unknown horizon, that you have not experienced before. And this may involve learning new things, educating or traveling or experiencing in different cultures. And that can be online as well. It needn't be physically traveling. It can involve just a change in perspective, outlook that really changes your whole personality, your direction, your life direction, your personal identity, how you project yourself, how you look at yourself, and how others look at you. So this whole thing can get a boost and a complete reboot if you use this amazing energy to really take that path. And you will be inclined to do this as well, because this energy is really harmonious, and you definitely want to change things about your life and your personal matters. Now, Mars is also in the sign of Virgo in your first house during this new moon, and is really forming a great aspect with Pluto in your 5th house. Now, fifth house is the house of your creativity. It's the house of your personal interest, personal passion, what you're passionate about. So with this first house, 5th house, and 9th house energy, Virgos, you're in a very good place to really open up your horizon, take up new opportunities, try out new territories, things that you're passionate about, things that you are inclined to love and enjoy. And this will really definitely improve your personality and how you project yourself, and will help you even reinvent yourself if that's what you're looking for. So do take up this amazing opportunity to have fresh start in your life, Virgos. Now, the ruler of the Virgo new moon is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Libra during this new moon, and Libra is your 2nd house, Virgo. Now, Second house is the house of your income. It's the house of how you sustain yourself, your assets, resources, your personal worth. Now, along with Mercury, Venus is also in the sign of Libra in your second house. They're not conjunct, but they're in the same sign. And both these planets in Libra is forming a trine, a very harmonious aspect with the planets in Aquarius, which is Jupiter and Saturn, and that forms your sixth house, which is a house of your work, your health, your daily routine, your productivity level, and just how you manage your life on a daily basis. So during this new moon, Virgos, you also definitely think in terms of how you can improve your money making capabilities with the help of what you do on a daily basis. That is your job or whatever. If you got a side income, whatever that might be, you are definitely looking at that. And this harmonious energy is really helping you to do that. So you could be looking for changing job with a better income. You're definitely thinking in terms of resources and your money making capabilities. You have these skills and talents, Virgos, and you want to use those, what you do on a daily basis, the capabilities that you have, the attributes that you have, you want to use that to make more money. And it's a great time to do that, Virgos, because the planets are very much together, coming together in a very positive way to help you achieve this. So whatever skills you have developed, Virgos, and whatever capabilities that you have developed over the year, you can definitely use these to get a better job and hence a better pay, or whatever you want to do. You want to have a side income or whichever way. So you can use your skills and capabilities to improve your money making capabilities, Virgo. Libras. For you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your 12th house. Now, 12th house is a house of your subconscious, also your unconscious behavior. It's a house of old patterns, closures, and just activities that you indulge in to retreat yourself away from the world. It's a house of escapism and isolation. Now, both the sun and moon are in your 12th house during this new moon, as it usually is during a new moon. So Libra, use this energy to tackle things that you kept on a back burner, or things that you did not deal with or didn't want to deal with. So you can bring these forward, these energy, and make some kind of decision or have closures in these matter. Now, this new moon in Virgo is getting a very harmonious aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is a house of intimacy. It's a house of commitment and trust level with people you're close to. So this aspect is giving you an opportunity to have some fresh start, a new beginning, or build up on old things that you want to refresh and renew and restore, and approach these matters with more of sense of reliability, trust, and commitment on your part as well. Now, Libras, the people you're dealing with and the situations you're dealing with where commitment and trust is required needs to be more on a balanced level. So if you are offering commitment and if you are being committed and reliable to the close tie to the other party, then you expect that much in return too. Then only relationship can be more balanced. And this Uranus trining new moon is helping you to really find that balance as well. And the approach that you're inclined to take during this time in terms of your intimacy and commitment can be unconventional because Uranus is in your 8th house, but it will definitely be worth your time, Libras, and you will definitely see some good outcomes in terms of your intimate relationship. And the time and energy that you invest in these relationships will definitely be worthwhile, Libras. A new moon is in the 12th house, which is the house of retreat. So it's a good time to really take quiet hours and really think over and recharge your battery as well. Use this new moon Virgo energy to really rejuvenate yourself, reboot your energy. Now, during this new moon, Mars is also in the sign of Virgo and in your 12th house, and is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in Capricorn in your 4th house. The 4th house is your home environment. Now, Mars in the 12th house may make you feel a little bit low on energy, but the harmonious aspect that it's forming with Pluto in your 4th house in your home environment will make you feel a little bit more secure as well. And you may not be necessarily inclined to take a lot of action during this time, but it's a good idea to have some kind of refreshing new regime in terms of healing yourself and taking care of your health, and really maybe practicing mindfulness and yoga and meditation during this time, and it will really calm you down and will be really helpful, and you will feel a little bit more more stable and secure in your home environment due to this energy, Libras. Now, Libras, your ruler Venus is in the sign of Libra, in your sign during this new moon, and is forming a very harmonious aspect with Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius in your 5th house. And along with Venus, Mercury is also in the sign of Libra, and Mercury is the ruler of this new moon in Virgo, and this Mercury is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius in your 5th house again. So there's a 1st house and 5th house energy coming into play in a very harmonious way. So the 1st house is about you, yourself, and 5th house is about your passions, your interests, your talents, skills, and how you like to enjoy and have fun. So this harmonious aspect is definitely bringing out your creativity. You're projecting yourself in a more articulate way, in a more refined and more appealing way to the outside world, and you're also having fun and enjoying the creativity that you have, and with the artistic expression of yourself, Libras, is really coming out, and this harmonious aspect during this new moon is really helping you really project yourself in a more appealing and attractive way to the world, and you're coming across very appealing and magnetic as well to the world. So Libras, use this new moon in your 12th house to really heal yourself and to take care of yourself, and really to rejuvenate and take a break from whatever you're doing, and really have a quiet time and healing time during this new moon. Because when it's Libra season after Virgo season and the new moon in Libra occurs, you will be all action oriented. You will be ready to take more action and really have fresh beginnings in terms of your whole life path and your personal identity and how you're projecting yourself. So you will definitely feel a little bit more outward focused then, but this new moon in Virgo is definitely time to really rejuvenate yourself and enjoy and have fun and do things that delights you and express yourself freely and creatively as well, Libras. Scorpio, for you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your 11th house. Now, 11th house is the house of your social circle. It's the house of your team, your peers, colleagues, association, organization, any community that you're part of, or association, organization you're part of, or any group projects, group work, or group causes, collective causes. All these comes under 11th house matter. Now, 11th house also deals with your hopes and wishes and your future projects. So new moon occurring in your 11th house is giving you opportunity for fresh starts, new starts, and to really get down and serious about what you have to offer more on a collective level and not just personal. So it's time to think past your own personal needs and desires and focus a little bit more on the teamwork or the group project that you're part of, Scorpios. Now, this new moon is getting a very harmonious trine from Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is your opposite sign and is your 7th house. Now, 7th house is the house of partnership. So this harmonious aspect is really bringing focus to a special partnership or special relationship in your life. And this could be personal or business, or any close ties, one-to-one interaction that you have in life, a special relationship that really comes into focus during this new moon. Now, Uranus is a radical energy, but during this new moon, it's retrograde. So Uranus's disruptive energy in your house of partnership is a little bit toned down. So you'll be able to handle this energy the rest of 2021 much better and in a much calmer way. Now, with this new moon in your 11th house, the focus is very much on how you handle and serve and help and support other people and the masses and the community and the collective, and especially a relationship in your life, which is the 7th house where Uranus is. So you are stepping away a little bit from your personal needs and desires during this time, and being a little bit more inclusive in how you handle situations and activities in your life, Scorpios. Now, Scorpio, Mars is your traditional ruler and Pluto is your modern ruler, and both these planets during this new moon is forming a very harmonious aspect. Now, Mars is in your 11th house along with the new moon in the sign of Virgo, and Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn during this new moon. and it's in your third house of communication or local community interaction, networking. So you're using this enthusiasm and eagerness to really connect and communicate with your social group a little bit more, and it's very effective and powerful as well during this time, Scorpios. And you're able to get more out of your team and the group work that you're part of, and you're also very much eager to contribute and help and support your team members, your peers, colleague, or the association or the social network that you're part of. You're really definitely very much involved and engaged in having a common collective outcome, and a good rewarding one too. Now Scorpios, the ruler of this new moon in the sign of Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Libra in your 12th house during this new moon. And along with Mercury, there's also Venus in the sign of Libra in its own sign in the 12th house, and both these planets are forming a very harmonious aspect with planets in Aquarius, which is Jupiter and Saturn. So there's Venus trining Jupiter and Mercury trining Saturn. Now Aquarius is your 4th house, so there's a harmonious aspect happening between your 12th house matter and your 4th house matter. Now 12th house matter is your subconscious, the old patterns, past unconscious behavior, and just any kind of thing that can weigh you down. So don't reveal too much what's going on in your life, whether it's in your career, job, finances, relationship. Don't reveal too much to people in your family environment, and just keep it to yourself and work on it. And once you have achieved and you have gone past and achieved the result that you want to result, then you can share the good news. But just keep it to yourself, work on your whatever you're trying to work on, and just don't reveal too much, because it can really affect you negatively. So it's a good time to really rethink and re-strategize whatever you want to achieve, and oversharing may not be particularly useful during this time. So keep whatever you're working on to yourself, and just work on it, and just reveal it or share with it later on once the outcome has been achieved, Scorpios. Sagittarius, for you the Virgo new moon occurs in your 10th house. Now the 10th house is the house of your reputation, of your public image, of your aspirations, goals and ambition, career, vocation, and what you want to achieve in your life more on an external basis. Now new moon in your 10th house is definitely bringing the focus to these matters and giving you a fresh start, a new beginning, or to build up on things that you're working, and really be serious about what you are trying to achieve, your aspirations, careers, goals and ambitions and reputation. And this new moon will also bring a new renewed energy in terms of how you're focusing on building your image and how you're appearing outwardly to people, particularly the authority figure and the people who are there to help you progress on your career ladder. Now this new moon in Virgo in your 10th house is forming a very harmonious aspect to Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 6th house. Now 6th house is the house of your daily duty. It's the house of your daily routine, your work environment, and also your health. Now this harmonious aspect with the new moon and Uranus in your 10th and 6th house is really giving you this renewed energy, and your productivity level is increasing, and you're really focused on achieving your career goals through the work that you put in, and your skills and capability and your productivity level. You're really coming across as somebody who is really capable and really skillful, Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius, along with this new moon in the sign of Virgo in your 10th house, we've also got Mars in the sign of Virgo, and this Mars is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in your 2nd house. And the 2nd house is a house of your personal income. It's a house of your money making capability. So there's a lot of helping and supportive energy going around in terms of your career, your work, and your money making capabilities. And there's a fresh start happening in all these areas following this Virgo new moon, Sagittarius, and you will really feel this energy, and you will see your skills and capabilities, your image improving, your reputation improving, and all this and all this helps you to increase your personal worth and your money making capabilities as well, Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius, the ruler of this new moon in Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Libra during this new moon. Now along with Mercury in the sign of Libra, there's also Venus in the sign of Libra in its own sign. Now both these planets in Libra is forming a very harmonious aspect with Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Now Libra is your 11th house and your Aquarius is your 3rd house. Now 11th house and 3rd house is a very social, community based house, and it's about communication, it's about working together, it's about group activity, teamwork. So this harmonious aspect with your social environment and social circle, along with your effective communication, where Saturn and Jupiter is in the sign of Aquarius during this new moon, is really making you communicate more effectively to bring out a good positive result in your teamwork. You're very inspiring as well in terms of your communication, and the people who are around you is also helping you and supporting you to achieve your objective in your career. The alliances that you're forming during this time, the team that you're becoming part of, is really helping you grow and is really engaging as well, and they are very communicative, and your communication skills is improving because of this interaction, and you're really growing as a person, a Sagittarius. So use this positive energy with Mercury and Venus, with Jupiter and Saturn, to mingle and connect and network, and you will come across as very graceful, very efficient, very appealing to people, and they will be there to really help and support you going forward, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius uses new moon in Virgo in your 10th house energy to really form habits and routines and improve your communication and really connect and network with people, like-minded people who are there to help and support you, and really all this will increase your productivity, and you will come across very skillful and efficient, and all this will definitely help you grow in your career and really climb up that career ladder, Sagittarius. Capricorn, for you the Virgo new moon occurs in your 9th house. Now 9th house is the house of your belief system. It's a house of exploration and expanding your horizon. It also deals with education, higher learning, and just even interacting with other cultures, foreign cultures, and really opening up yourself to world views, different perspective. It also deals with unknown territories, it also deals with unknown territories and future plans, something that you have not experienced before. So a new moon in your 9th house, Capricorn, is definitely giving you the opportunity to have a fresh start, new beginning in seeking out and really changing your perspective view and really looking at the larger picture and seeking out new opportunities, new territories, especially the ones that you have not experienced before. Now this new moon is forming a very harmonious aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 5th house. Now 5th house is about self-expression. It's about your skills, capabilities, your talents, your interests, passions, whatever that might be, your creativity, artistic self. That's what 5th house deals with. So a positive trine between your 9th house and 5th house matters is asking you to focus your energies on solo activities, solo things, things that are personal to you, and really change your perspective, belief system, open your mind and explore and dream and discover new avenues, new territories. And this may involve through travel long distances, or learning, or even interacting with people from different cultures, even online. And all this will definitely delight you and make you happy, and will also set you on a new venture, new experience, new journey of life, Capricorn. So this new moon is definitely energizing and really rebooting all the goals and ambitions and future plans that you have planned and you have your eyes set on. All this is getting super energized, and really it's time to take action and have fresh start in these areas, Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, the ruler of this new moon in Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Libra during this new moon. And Libra is your 10th house, Capricorn. It's the house of your profession, your career, your vocation, your reputation in the world, your achievements, your aspirations, goals, and ambitions. And this Mercury in Libra is forming a very harmonious aspect with Saturn in Aquarius. Now, Saturn is your ruler, Capricorn. So this Mercury in the sign of Libra in your 10th house, trining with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 2nd house, is definitely giving you a recharged energy, mental agility to think about how can you improve your reputation, your image, and as a result how you can increase your worth, your finances, your money making capabilities. So all these are getting spotlighted during this new moon, so it's a good idea to really have a plan, have a strategy to work through these matters. So Capricorn, Mars is in the sign of Virgo in your 9th house along with new moon during this time, and this Mars in the 9th house is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in your 1st house. So this Mars and Pluto energy is very powerful and very determined energy, very action oriented and really going past any obstacles in life. So this Mars and Pluto combination is very powerful, very determined, stubborn energy. It doesn't get deterred by obstacles in life, so it is really moving forward, action oriented energy. Now in your 9th house, which is your belief system, that's where Mars is, and Pluto in your 1st house, the house of self, your belief system perspective is really changing, and you are incorporating these changes in your sense of self, the way you project yourself, the way how you see your personal destiny, how you see your personal path in life. And you're definitely very eager to experience more and even explore new territories. You're definitely very much wanting to strive and really experience and just project yourself in a way that is a little bit more open, and you're open to new experiences and new territories as well. That's how you're seeing your life moving on in future. Now Pluto in the 1st house has been there for many years, since 2008, so it's really regenerating and rebooting and really changing things that doesn't serve you anymore, it does not favor you anymore, and you are coming out and into becoming a new person, a new personality. You're seeing yourself differently, and this new moon with the 9th house energy is really changing your perspective, and you are looking for fresh start, new beginnings in terms of future future plans, and change in perspective, and really experiencing things that you have never done before, Capricorn. Now Capricorn, Venus is also in the sign of Libra in your 10th house along with Mercury, and is forming a very harmonious aspect with Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius in your 2nd house. Now again, your career, your profession, and your money, your worth, self-worth aspect comes into play. It's same as a Mercury and Saturn aspect, which is also very harmonious. So there's a lot of focus on your career and your self-worth and your money-making capabilities. You're definitely thinking about really moving these energies forward and really progressing in life, in your career, in all aspects of your life basically. So any accomplishments, any achievements during this time and even going forward is going to definitely increase your sense of self-worth, and as a result will also improve your financial money making capability, and it will give you the opportunity to keep climbing the career ladder and the professional accomplishment ladder, and all this will definitely increase your sense, and all this will definitely increase your sense of personal worth, your gains, your goals and ambition, whatever it is, all that will be increased in all aspects, Capricorn. Aquarius, for you the Virgo new moon occurs in your 8th house. Now 8th house is the house of intimacy, it's a house of joint finances, joint resources. It's also the house of your commitment level, your trust level in your close ties, in your close relationship. And it's also the house where you see mutual benefits and mutual gains with your partner. Now, a new moon in the 8th house is definitely giving this new opportunity, a refreshing start, a new beginning, or a new perspective, a new way of thinking in these matters. So you may be focusing and refocusing your energies in these matters matters and really looking for a fresh new start in terms of your joint resources, joint finances, and your intimacy as well. Now, this new moon in Virgo in your 8th house is forming a very harmonious aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, and which is your 4th house. Now, 4th house is the house of your home environment, your family members, your home life, your own emotional setting. It's also the house of your roots, foundation, childhood, also, property matters, and, just household matters. So Uranus has been in your 4th house for a few years now, Aquarius, and will be there until 2026. So already you're feeling a rebooting and uprooting kind of energy in your home life and your foundation. Now, this new moon in Virgo in your 8th house trining Uranus, so this is definitely giving you an opportunity or inclination for a radical approach or an unconventional approach in terms of how you deal with family matters and your home life. Now, this new moon will and can mean a new beginning in your home environment. So you may be either moving away from home, or you may be buying a new property, or you could be just approaching your family and your own emotional setting, your own level of emotional stability and security, how you see that in a new way. Now, Aquarius, in order to have a smooth transition in your home life, it's very important to focus energy on your intimacy level and your intimate bonds, and the connection that you have, the personal connection that you have in your life, and also to look at their perspective and their input in your life. So don't just be led by your own needs and your own desires, whatever you want to do. It's also important to get that perspective from other people. So do focus on joint activities and joint agreement, things that is mutually beneficial for all parties concerned. So don't just lead from your personal viewpoint. Include the perspective of people, especially the ones that is close to you, and this way you'll find solutions that is mutually beneficial to everyone, whether it's your partner, family members, any close connection, and the partners may not just be a personal or a spousal partnership. It can also be a business partnership. So if you're doing something related to business, it's a good idea to even listen to your partner in business and find a middle ground, a mutually beneficial solution. Now, Aquarius, you can also use this new moon in your 8th house energy to mutually jointly invest in some financial dealings or financial investment that can be mutually beneficial. So look into these matters and discuss it with your close ties, and see what the opinion is of your people you're connecting with, and see how you can mutually find a middle ground to find your financial solutions as well, besides the home life and personal solution that you're looking for in terms of foundation and all. Also the money aspect, the financial aspect also. So it's very important to really get the perspective of other people as well, and do something that's mutually beneficial, and you have a joint solution for any situations, Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, the ruler of this new moon in Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Libra during this new moon. And Libra is your 9th house, which is a house of external perspective, the bigger picture, other people's viewpoint, and exploring and expanding your mind through what you're learning, and you're searching the philosophies and the belief system that you're expanding. And this Mercury is forming a very harmonious aspect with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 1st house. So Mercury in 9th house with Saturn in the 1st house is really asking you to consider other people's perspective as well, in terms of growing your own self and your own personal needs, desires, whatever that might be, in order to achieve that and grow yourself and personal development, self-development. It's a good idea to see other people's viewpoint as well, a perspective as well, and this might help you to look at things with a fresh outlook and a fresh perspective. This might give you a new beginning in terms of if you're having some kind of blockages and you're not able to find a solution in terms of how you want to take your path. Other people's viewpoint can help you open up to new ideas, Aquarius. Pisces. For you, the Virgo new moon occurs in your 7th house. Now, 7th house is the opposite house to yourself, Pisces, and it deals with personal relationship, one-to-one interactions. So a new moon in this house is really giving you this opportunity for fresh starts in terms of your personal relationship and how you see personal relationship. So you can have a new beginning here. Now, this new moon is in a harmonious aspect to Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is in your 3rd house. Now, 3rd house is a house of communication, and Uranus has been in your 3rd house for a few years now. So your communication skill is definitely going through a reboot. You're changing the way you speak and approach, and your mindset, how you share ideas, how you communicate. You're using your voice to make an impact, Pisces. Now, with 7th house and 3rd house coming into focus with this new moon and Uranus energy, you are using your voice to approach your personal relationships in a different, unconventional way as well. Things that may not have worked out in the past, or if you want a new approach to the relation, the one-to-one interaction that you have. And this can be personal and business. So it's not just personal relationship, it can also be business relationship. So using your communication skill to be more effective and efficient, and coming across more unconventional and even radical with your viewpoint. And this is how you're approaching your partnership. So you're definitely tapping into your improved or unique, unconventional communication style and your thinking mindset, and how you approach your network, your community, neighbors as well, and your partnership as well. All the close ties that you have in your life, you're definitely approaching all these areas with a new, renewed mindset, and even very unorthodox, or away from what you have been doing in the past. So it's definitely a very new approach, and this new one in Virgo is giving you that added opportunity to indulge in partnership and unions, personal unions and interactions that you have in life in a more open and more progressive way, Pisces. Now, the ruler of this new moon is Mercury, which is in the sign of Libra during this full moon. And Libra is your 8th house, which deals with deeper connections, connection that you form more on mutual benefit, where joint resources comes into play, and all the deeper bonds and deeper alliances and close ties, intimacy is formed. So that's where Mercury is during this new moon. So Mercury is a communication planet, so you will be inclined to use your communication or have discussions regarding these matters, joint resource and joint finances, these matters. Now, Mars is also in the sign of Virgo during this new moon, Pisces, and Virgo is your opposite house, so it's in the 7th house. Now, from 7th house, Mars is forming a very harmonious aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in your 11th house, which is the house of your social circle. So you're definitely very much inclined in connecting more, and even bringing in new friendly relationships in your life and partnership, and it could be just friendly relationship. And there's a lot of social activity, community networking going on, and connecting and mingling happening during this new moon. So Pisces, you're definitely very much inclined to connect during this time and partner and really find new friendships and new social circle to connect with. And it's a good idea to do that as well, because it will definitely broaden your perspective and approach to life. Now, during this new moon, Venus is in the sign of Libra in its own sign in your 8th house, and is forming a very harmonious aspect with Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius in your 12th house, which is the house of retreat and healing and taking a break. And Mercury is there in the sign of Mercury is also there in the 8th house, forming a harmonious aspect with Saturn in your 12th house in the sign of Aquarius. So Venus and Mercury with Jupiter and Saturn in your 12th house is definitely giving you this desire to spend more time in solitude, and really giving you this inclination to heal and rejuvenate yourself in private, away from people, and in solitude in your home environment or wherever you might be. So you are definitely wanting to find intimate time and personal time away from the crowd. So there is opportunity to connect with people during this new moon, but also there's a desire to spend time by yourself, Pisces. Thank you everyone for watching my new moon in Virgo video. I hope this content will be useful for you and you can use this new moon in Virgo energy, which is very harmonious because there's so many planets involved which are harmoniously aspecting each other, and you can use this energy to have fresh starts, new beginning, or really build upon whatever you are working on during this time, and it's really going to be helpful going forward. So see where Virgo sits in your chart and refocus your energy in that area and have a fresh start and with a fresh mindset, and think about that house matters differently, and this might give you opportunity to improve and progress in life and just grow and develop as well. And also please do like my videos and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you.